Welcome back to Nat Scraps. I'm Natalie Peconic and I'm here with the layout 7 of our Backyard Bliss kit, scrapbooking kit series. It doesn't get any easier to say every time I make a video. So today we are creating the 7th layout. We have 2 more after this and we also have a bonus video at the end. So I started off with this one in a completely different direction. The video started off at about 3.5 hours long, and normally I can edit out big chunks, but this one was really different in that I changed my mind on what direction I was going and how I was going to finish the layout so many times that it really just didn't blend itself to taking out big chunks of the video. So what you will see is a little bit of a stilted video, one that's not running quite as fast as what you would normally see, because I've had to speed it up to like 1,000 times what the normal speed is, just to get it down in time, and it's still going to be quite a hefty video. So please bear with me. You can see here it started off with lots of pinks on the page. I've been hoarding that pink paper for ages and ages, since layout 1, and I'm going to try use it here, and spoiler alert, still doesn't make it on the page. I promise by the end of the series I will have used the pink paper though. I've also been hoarding that green dotty paper. Some of that makes it onto the page, but a lot of it doesn't as well. And you'll see I really struggled with this layout. It was just chaotically bad. I do one thing at the start that I keep all the way through, and that is that little basket of flowers that I have cut out of a Picture My Life card at the very start, and that's probably the redeeming feature of this layout. The other thing I did was I chose the title at the start, which was the wood grained die cut that says "With All My Heart." That was the last big title I had in that die cuts pack, and I'm going to try use it on this layout. So far I've pulled out those zip strips with the stripes on them, the pink paper, bit of yellow paper, green. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to mat that wood grain die cut, and nothing's really working all that well. I'm trying this circle, and I don't know, I was just trying, guys. So I bring the circle in, give it a go. That's not working. I also make that pink mat with a bit of ink, and that doesn't really work either. So I'm really trying lots of different things and hoping that something sticks here. Sometimes it just takes time, guys. Sometimes it happens really nice and easy, and sometimes it doesn't. So what can I say? That's life. The last layout, I kind of knew exactly where I was heading right from the start, and this one, yeah, it was a bit of the opposites. One of the issues I had with this layout was that green dotty paper, and it was doing an optical illusion. So when I would put that wood grain on it, it would kind of like, you know, when you get those optic things that just pop and make you all go squiggly wiggly, and it was doing a bit of that, and I was trying to figure out how I could mat that title on the green without it doing that. And you'll see that I try lots of different things. I bring in that solid pine cardstock, I try to do it on half and half, I chop and put pieces in and take pieces out. I try loads of different ways to get that to work, and in the end it was just struggle town. The other issue I keep running into is that I'd actually cut the green and the dotty paper up quite a bit, and by the time I was getting to this stage I didn't have pieces that were the right sizes, so I was doing lots of putting pieces back together with tape on the back, lots of jigsawing bits out of nothing, and when I had all my layouts finished, said and done, and went back and started to draw up a cutting guide for this, I realized I actually had quite a lot of that pine paper. I'd added one extra sheet of pine paper in, and I'd also added quite a few pieces of white daisy, but that's all. And I actually had a little bit of it like spare if I'd just cut what I needed, not cut and changed my mind 50,000 times. So even though it looks like I'm just making an absolute balls up of this, in reality it could have been a lot simpler and a lot easier. I think by this time I was pretty fed up and pretty exhausted from changing my mind and doing the same thing over again and not getting any results. And what I did here was I cut out a whole section. After trying to edit it so many times, I just kind of gave up, guys. But I'd done a few things. I brought in a few embellishments and done little bits and pieces, and I'm going to slow the footage down to a reasonable speed. Now it's still pretty sped up, but a reasonable speed. And what we're going to see now is my next biggest chaos and failure of this layout. So I decided to go in with a little bit of ink, using the packaging technique and smushing a little bit of that green around. And once I've done that, I kind of go, well, you know, that's not quite the look I wanted. Maybe I'll stamp a little bit. So you see me smushing there, cleaning up. I grabbed the Perfectly Imperfect stamp set, that one that's my absolute favorite. And I'm going to come in with that one and do some stamping. I think we're about to start that now. So I must have put some embellishments back on to see what it looked like. And one of the things I did here is I really didn't, guys, I really think I was just over it by this stage. And I didn't really think about where I put that smooshes, I just laid them on. And then I found that they weren't sort of coherent, they weren't on a diagonal, or they were in the same spots on both pages, so the top left and the bottom right, and it just didn't work. So I'm trying here with some stamping and go, still not happy. Let me come in with the papaya ink and see if I can stuff it up anymore. I'll just straighten that stamp up before I do that. So papaya ink's going on now, and honestly, I should have just stopped. I should have just taken a breath, maybe taken a break. I think I was pushing hard to finish off the layout and get to bed, or I can't even really remember what time this was, but I think I was just pushing and not really stopping and thinking. I could have done with a good Earl Grey tea. So I'm going back in with a bit more smooching, thinking I might be able to fix this up. And at this stage, I think I'd started off as a double page, went to a single page, come back to a double page, and it'd been all over the plot. All over. I can't even talk now. Just watching it back is stressing me out. Sorry, guys. And so I couldn't even decide whether it was going to be a single or a double, really. Trying a few die cuts and stickers and bits and pieces all over the place, and just seeing if I can get something here to work. Okay. I removed a bit more footage of me just getting more frustrated, and in a second here you'll see me pick up a pile of stuff and literally throw it off my page where I am getting really frustrated. I do start to make a couple of better decisions here in a second. So I actually have cut up the very edge of that die cut piece and try that on. Just saying, never know. And it didn't work though. And then I make a really good decision and I cut some 1/2-inch strips of papaya, and that helps. It gives definition between the green and the white area, and if I had done this right at the start, do you know what, this could have ended so much better. Sorry guys, I'm trying to remember exactly what we did at this end, and I've re-edited it so many times trying to get it down to, you know, under 15 minutes, that I don't know what I've taken out and what I haven't. Okay, so I'm feeling a little bit better with the papaya on there, but still not 100%. And I'm going to try it sideways. And that doesn't last long from memory. So at this stage here, I reckon I'm just staring at that layout and I'm really probably contemplating why on earth I am continuing to try. I've decided to put that 4x4 photo mat on the other side, and I'm deciding it's a single page, guys. It was so annoying to me that the splatters weren't in the right spots and things like that. I just couldn't get my head around it. And so I kind of binned that first page and started working on it as a single. And it ends up as a single. There you go. I did tell you it was going to be a bumpy, wild ride, this one. And you're probably all going, she's completely nuts. And I don't blame you. So I'm now just having a look at, see if I could put some flowers up there and decide that that's not the best option either. And I'm going to go back to the hearts, I believe, that, or the little heart charm, that's right, that I had on page 1. I decide that it needs something behind it. I put a little bit of marker around the heart and then magic mount that, or I plan to magic mount it anyway, and pop in a few more hearts up there. I still have another twist and turn to come yet though. We're not done with this crazy ride of mine. It feels a bit like a roller coaster, but we are getting closer to a resolution on this page. There's that little pink strip that I've just brought in is one of the zip strips, and I do like that above and below that title, and it kind of brings that title in it. The title looked like it was just floating there on doing whatever it wanted to do, and that there was nothing grounding it to the layout. And I'm spreading a few more hearts around. So that box has still got a few hearts in it. It doesn't have much left at the end of this series though. Okay, thinking, and what am I going to do now? Here we go. Strap yourselves in, guys. Oh, I actually managed to stick some things down first though. And oh, I'm even going to glue my title down. I must be starting to feel a little bit more confident because I'm attaching things to the page. So now, one of the things I did right at the very start is that the little dot for the width, the eye in the width, I held on to. And here we go, guys. Let's just rip the whole layout off, turn it over, get rid of those ink smushes that I absolutely hate and that are driving me crazy. And now that I've got it on a clean, it's actually just the back of the layout, so that all that smushy mess that I made was on the other side of this piece of paper. I didn't waste the paper and I'm so much happier. It looks cleaner. It doesn't do my head in quite so much, and I can move on. I can get over it. So I'm going to reattach that, attach the zip strips back down and bring those embellishments back into the top corner. I do swap out a couple of the embellishments, but bring them back in similar to what I had them on the page before I turned it over. The little banner down there in the bottom right corner is "Do all things with love," and I think it's a really cute little saying on that one. And it meant that I didn't have to carry that papaya strip all the way to the edge either, because it kind of automatically took your eye over there as well. Now I'm coming in with the Perfectly Imperfect stamp set, and you're probably going, please don't do anything, just stop, walk away, but I didn't. There's a little row of love hearts on that set, and Where I had stamped all over the place like a crazy woman with the smooshing and stamping before, there was little marks on the zip strips and even some on the pine cardstock. So I took those little hearts in just so that it didn't look too clean, and then those marks be more visible. So it kind of took away from it a little bit. Now coming in with just the final last little hearts and chipboard, and finally getting this layout very close to complete. We have 2 more layout videos and a really cool embellishment video to go, and I'm excited to get those ones to you as well. If you don't want to miss out on one of these videos, please like and subscribe to the channel. Down below in the description there is details of my web store, as well as how you can email me if you want a cutting guide, and my Facebook page if you want to drop by and leave a comment there. Now I'm going to come in with my marker and do a border around the outside edge of this layout, and that just gives the layout a little bit of grounding. If I hadn't have used the marker, I probably would have used some blending or something else around the edge. I also did those little dots, just I don't know where I've picked that up from. I've watched a video somewhere along the line of somebody doing that, and I've really decided that's my technique. And quite often I go in with the marker and I just do tiny little dots, and you'll see, I think it is in the last video, I do quite a few around the embellishments there. A few squiggles on my outside edge, a little bit of marking around that bottom tag, and guys, this one is D-O-N-E, done. And if you hung out with me for all this time, well, I tore my hair out and made a huge mess. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that you stuck me. There's the back of that paper. Thanks so much, guys. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.